Let me begin with an uncomfortable yet undeniable truth. Look, you're not inherently tired, you're not fundamentally broken, and you're certainly not just unlucky. You are, however, undisciplined with your most valuable asset, your time. And until you commit to changing that single critical habit, absolutely nothing else in your life will change, no matter how hard you wish or how desperately you hope for a breakthrough. Most people wake up every single day hoping for a miracle. They crave a new life. They want financial freedom, genuine peace, a profound sense of purpose. Yet they simultaneously hand over their hours to the most trivial distractions. They fail to realize that time is the miracle. Time is the universal currency of success. Forget your resume, ignore your fancy degree, and put aside your biggest, grandest dreams for a moment. I want to talk about one singular metric that accurately predicts your future. What do you do with 1 hour of focused, deliberate time each day? That's it. Just 1 hour. Repeated. Consistent. Focused. Let me ask you directly. What are you doing when the noise stops and nobody's watching? When it's just you and one quiet, undivided hour, what takes priority? Are you scrolling aimlessly, consuming the manufactured dramas of others? Or are you actively building the future version of yourself? Let me take you back to a turning point in my own life. I was rejected from more jobs than I care to count. Nobody wanted me. On paper, I wasn't the smartest, and I certainly wasn't the strongest contender. But I recognized that I had one thing that was being equally gifted to every single person on earth: time. And eventually, I stopped squandering it. The change wasn't instant, and it definitely wasn't a sudden grand transformation. It was a single, non-negotiable commitment. Every evening, for just 1 hour, I read. I studied. I brainstormed and wrote down ideas. That single, solitary hour became my fight back against failure, my quiet defiance against every no I had ever heard. You don't have to be a genius to start. You don't need to be amazing. You just need to show up. 1 hour, no excuses. 1 hour, no distractions. 1 hour, no lies to yourself. That hour quickly became the most important appointment on my calendar. Not a job interview, not a crucial meeting, not a social commitment. Just me, the clock, and my unbreakable commitment to a better life. I didn't always know what I was doing. I was confused, often tired, and frequently doubted myself. But I kept the appointment. Over time, my 1 hour evolved into a habit. That habit forged a discipline, and that discipline, brick by brick, rebuilt me. We all have 24 hours in a day, the billionaires and the broke, the winners and the wanderers. It's the only truly democratic resource. But only a precious few honor time the way it should be honored. I used to believe success was a matter of luck or knowing the right people. I now know the truth. Success is simply what you do when no one is watching, when no one is applauding. You don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need a perfect 5-year plan. You need 1 solid hour and a deep, compelling reason why. Let me share 2 powerful examples of this principle in action. 1. I once met a young man who was depressed, broke, and felt utterly lost. I gave him one piece of advice. Walk for 1 hour a day. No music, no podcasts, Just walk and think. 6 months later, he had clarity, a defined vision, and a solid routine. He started a YouTube channel around his new ideas. Today, that same man is a prominent figure inspiring millions. Another woman I know was a single mother working 3 jobs just to survive. She had no money and seemingly no time. But she carved out 1 hour every night to study digital marketing courses while the house was quiet. 4 years later, she quit all 3 jobs and runs her own thriving online business. The miracle isn't in the hour itself. The miracle is in your belief that the hour matters. Most people think small, private actions are meaningless. That's precisely why they stay stuck. Success never comes from one giant revolutionary decision. It comes from 10,000 small decisions repeated in private. 1 hour becomes 2. 2 becomes a reliable habit. A reliable habit shapes your character, and your character builds your ultimate destiny. Do not skip that hour. Not when you're tired, not when you don't feel like it, and especially not when you feel motivation is low. Because the version of you that keeps that promise to yourself, that is the version that wins. When you dedicate that hour to your dream, you are sending a powerful message to the universe and to yourself. I matter. My future is worth this effort. I fundamentally refuse to waste my time living someone else's story. The first time I spoke publicly, I had an empty room. The first business I launched was a failure, but I kept giving it 1 hour a day. I studied, I built, I failed, I tried again. Eventually, people started noticing. But by then, I didn't care much about being noticed because I had already become the kind of person who could not quit. Do you know what happens after a year of this dedicated 1 hour discipline? You stop needing external motivation. You become virtually unstoppable because your mind is fundamentally rewired. You start to operate from a simple, profound truth. I don't need to be the best. I just need to be better than I was yesterday. That belief will carry you through any storm. 1 hour a day teaches you a lesson no school ever did. You are the author, the editor, the architect, and the builder of your own life. Your tools are time, consistent effort, and unyielding discipline. You want to change your life? You don't need to move to another country. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment or a new year. You just need to give yourself 1 focused hour today. That is the start of your personal revolution.